Hey, this is Sean Hale with Sean Hale Woodcrafts and Music. And today what we're going to be doing is taking a guitar that I bought as damaged merchandise. It actually has a crack in the neck, and I'm going to try to fix this thing up and get some bang for the buck here. Now, I bought this as a discounted guitar, and it's otherwise brand new, but it looks like somebody ordered it, and it must have got damaged in shipping, because you can see how this box is all crunched in on the front, like so. And that crunching in, I don't know how it happened, you know, a forklift, fell off a building, who knows. But it just smashed right into the guitar this way. You can see right on the tip there that it's got some damage there. And then that actually forced the neck to fracture. So there's a hairline fracture on this side, which I'll show you a close-up picture of. And there's a little hairline fracture on this side. Now, I kind of bought this, it was actually less than $100, shipping included. I looked at the pictures very carefully, but you know, it's still a little bit of a gamble. You can't return it. It's sold as broken, damaged for parts only. So, you know, I figured, well, I'll see what I can do with it. And why would I buy a damaged guitar? Especially when I've been playing guitar since I was like 14 years old. Well, the reason is because I'm going to be wood burning onto a guitar. It's one of the things I like to do, and I've been thinking about it for a long time. And there's this guy, you got to check him out. His company is Sacred Fire Arts, and he does this beautiful wood burning on both acoustic and electric guitars. And seeing his work, you know, inspired me to want to do one for myself. But since it's my first one, I didn't really want to start on an expensive guitar. You know, I want to just get my feet wet. So I was looking for something inexpensive, and I know these guitars are not terrible guitars, but they're even better when you can get them for less than $100, shipping included, when they're normally, you know, $300 guitars. So what I'm going to try to do here, since the crack isn't that bad, is, you know, trying to get some super glue into these cracks and just kind of clamp it closed and just secure that a little bit better. Now, I don't know if this happened from the damage or not, but the action on this guitar is like horrible. On the 12th fret, this E string here is like almost an 1/8 inch off of the fretboard. In fact, I've got a little gauge here that I can measure the string height off of the fret. And it says for the low E string on an acoustic guitar, 0.079 to 0.098 thousandths of an inch, the string should be off of the 12th fret. Well, when I actually put this on here, I'll show you a close-up picture of this as well. It's actually more like 130 thousandths of an inch. So it's way over tolerance. So what I'm going to have to do is, I noticed that the neck has a lot of relief in it. I'm going to have to try to straighten the neck, and hopefully this little bash here didn't ruin the truss rod, and that's still going to work for me. I'm probably going to have to take down this bridge a little bit, and I might actually have to file the nut a little bit too. We'll see how things go after I repair this crack, and we'll see where the strings sit at that point. This is a great opportunity for me because I'm also learning how to do, you know, work on my own guitars. I've been watching a lot of videos on setting up guitars, and in fact I've already done some work on some of my other acoustic guitars and got them playing much better. But this is actually my chance to do it from start to finish on one that's in really bad condition, what I like to call polishing a turd. And I figured I'd share my first time around setting up an acoustic guitar with you guys. So enjoy. Let's get this thing started. I was actually able to straighten the neck, and I have this notched straight edge which I can place on there, and so you have to do it on this side, which I can place on there, and I've got just a very hairline crack of light going through there, which is about what I want, about the thickness of a piece of paper of relief. So it was nice that the truss rod is still working, and I was able to straighten out the neck. So now what I need to do is I need to get this action a little bit better. And what the action is basically the string height away from the frets on the 12th fret. And I did some measurements. For the low E, our goal for the action is 0.079 to 0.098. We're at 120 now. So basically, I'm going to go like halfway in between there, 0.085. So I need to remove 0.035 thousandths of an inch from the bridge of the guitar, which is right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off, and I'm going to shave the bottom of that just a little bit. It's not even much, it's like about the thickness of a credit card. That's how much it is. In fact, I even sanded this piece of wood down to where it actually measures 0.035 on my caliper, and I don't know how well you can see this, but you can see how thick that is. It's really not much. So just take it out and do a slight adjustment, and it's really good to have some sort of a reference before you're going to do something like this, because if you shave off too much, then it's just kind of a pain in the ass. You got to put stuff underneath it to raise it back up, and you're kind of chasing yourself. So it's better to do a little less than you need to than too much. And then on the high E string, very similar situation. They say the tolerance for a high E is 0.059 to 0.079, and I'm at 0.090. So my goal is going to be 0.065, and I just need to take 25 thousandths of an inch off of that. So on that side, because this guitar actually has a split bridge here, I just barely need to sand that just a little bit to get it a little better. It's almost there right now, just a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the strings, and we'll check underneath to see if it doesn't already have some stuff underneath it to raise it a little bit. And if it does, we'll take that out, and I'll have to adjust my calculations accordingly. So let's see where we're at. This is a fret rocker, and one of the things that I like to do with my guitars is sometimes you wind up getting fret buzz on one particular fret. I noticed that, especially with acoustic guitars, I often find a problematic fret right here at the 14th fret. I don't know why, but that's also exactly where it meets the body, so maybe something happens with the clamping there that makes it a little higher. And if you place this across 3 frets, the one in the middle, if it's higher, you're going to get a little bit of play in this thing, and it's going to rock. So right here it's perfectly even, you know, within acceptable tolerances. But if I put it here on this 14th fret, I can feel some movement in there. It's not much, but if I'm going to be making the action low on the guitar, I want to make sure that my frets are as level as possible. Now, I've already gone through and checked all of the frets on the guitar. Down here you can do these, and they're all good except for this one fret right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just sand this a little tiny bit until I don't feel any play in this fret rocker. Okay, so I'm really happy with those adjustments I did to the bridge, filing it down. The number I was shooting for on the low E string from the 12th fret was .085, and I put my gauge on there. I'll show you a close-up picture of that. And I'm pretty much hitting that right on the mark. And you know, the reason is that I actually visualized, I measured that with my micrometer, I visualized that measurement, and I drew that line as close as I could to the correct thickness, so I really had a reference to sand down to. Otherwise I could have gone too little or too much, you know, really easily. So basically I was just really careful. Now on the high E string I was shooting for, what did I say, .065, the high E string from the 12th fret, and my final number was .070, so I'm about maybe, you know, 5/1000ths of an inch off. But honestly, when I play the guitar, it feels fine playing it up there. We're talking about the thickness of a piece of paper here, so I'm not going to take all of the strings off of it and you know, do all that over again for, you know, the thickness of a piece of paper. And also, I still got the strings that came with the guitar on here. They're not very good strings as far as I'm concerned. So after I do my, you know, wood burning and all that, I'll string it up with some really nice strings, and hopefully this thing is really going to shine at that point. is all finished, and I gotta say I'm really happy with the way this guitar plays now. I mean, I got this thing in the mail. It had a cracked neck. The strings were like an 1/8 inch off of the 12th fret, and I could barely play the thing. I can't see the cracks anymore, and you know, just getting that super glue in there and clamping it all down really tightly fixed all that. And then that little adjustment that we did to the bridge got the action nice. Now, when I had the nut off here, I kind of sanded the back of it just a little bit. It seemed like there was a couple lines of plastic on the edge that were maybe left over from the mold, and I probably took a few thousandths of an inch off. So honestly, I'm really happy with the action at the nut as well. So in general, it plays really good. And the only thing that I might not be 100% happy with is that I had a little bit of super glue, extra super glue on here, and I kind of sanded the glue off. Maybe I sanded a little too much, but I discolored the wood a little bit right there. It doesn't really bother me. It feels nice and smooth. You can't see it from the front. And I got this guitar for less than $100, shipping included, so I guess I really can't complain. So the next thing I'm going to be doing on this guitar is I'm going to be wood burning a really cool pattern design out of here. And that's actually the reason I bought this, because in order to wood burn you have to sand off all of the finish, and honestly on a really nice guitar I would just be afraid to do that, especially this being my first time wood burning onto a guitar. So stay tuned for that, and if you hit that subscribe button, if I haven't already released the video already, you know, hit that subscribe, hit that little bell to be notified, and you'll see that one when it comes up, and or any other future videos, because I'm always trying to think of new things and have stuff on the way, and I've got some cool ones up there already. So if you want to check out how to turn an old telephone into a microphone, for example, really cool old-timey retro kind of sound, or build your own lap steel guitar, or even build your own cigar box guitar, I've got videos for all of that and more. So I'll see you next time, and take care.